Hi and welcome to today's video where I'll be talking to you about cervical sweeps, why they're carried out and how to make the procedure as comfortable as possible for you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Anja and I'm a hypnobirthing practitioner. On my YouTube channel you'll find pregnancy, birth and postpartum related videos and relaxation audios. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell icon because I upload a new video every single Tuesday and I don't want you to miss out on any important information. A cervical sweep is also known as a membrane sweep or a stretch and sweep, and they're carried out to kick-start your labour. So normally cervical sweeps are offered after 38 weeks of pregnancy, but they're usually offered to you at your 40-week antenatal appointment and your 41-week antenatal appointment. So there are two stages to a membrane sweep. The first stage involves your doctor or midwife inserting one finger up inside your vagina to your cervical entrance, and what they're doing is a circular or sweep-like motion, and what that's aiming to do is separate your baby's amniotic sac from the cervix. And when that happens, your body releases a chemical called prostaglandins, and prostaglandins are there to soften and ripen your cervix even more so that labour can start and further cervical dilation can begin. I just wanted to point out here that the first stage of a membrane sweep is only manageable if your doctor or midwife can feel that your cervix is already partially open. If they have a feel up there and they can feel that your cervix hasn't opened at all naturally, they won't be able to perform a membrane sweep, so you might have to go back in for another one in a few days or a week's time. The second stage of a membrane sweep involves your doctor or midwife inserting two fingers into your vaginal opening, right up inside to your cervix. And then they'll place these two fingers inside your cervical opening and stretch their two fingers apart like this. And what that's aiming to do is further open and dilate your cervix to accelerate the start of labour. But the second stage of a membrane sweep, otherwise known as the stretch part of it, will not be carried out if the first stage hasn't been carried out first. The purpose of a cervical sweep is to trigger spontaneous or natural labour to start, and this reduces the chances of you needing to have a medical induction in the hospital. If a membrane sweep is going to be successful, it should trigger natural labour to start within 48 hours of having the procedure. But normally one cervical sweep won't bring on labour, but you can have up to 3 sweeps. So what some women will do is book a sweep at 38 weeks of pregnancy, another one at 39 weeks, and then another one at 40 weeks of pregnancy. Technically though, you can have 3 sweeps in 6 days. So what some women will do is have a sweep. If it hasn't brought on natural labour, they'll go in for another one 72 hours after their first one. Then if the second one doesn't bring on labour, they'll go in for a third sweep 72 hours after they've had their second one. Yes, they're usually very, very safe, although if you experience leaking amniotic fluid or heavy bleeding after having a sweep, make sure that you contact your hospital immediately. Most women regard cervical sweeps as uncomfortable, but not necessarily painful. After having a sweep, you might experience menstrual-like cramping, which could lead to contractions starting, but also they may not. You might also experience a little bit of spotting in your underwear, but as I said before, if you experience heavy bleeding, make sure that you contact your doctor straight away. To make your cervical sweep procedure as comfortable as possible, it's really important that you breathe in slowly through your nose and out through your mouth, and that's going to help you to relax more deeply. It's also really important that you don't tense up your shoulders, your bum or your thighs, because that will just create tension in your body, tension in your abdominal and lower pelvic area, and make the procedure more uncomfortable and possibly painful. So just try to breathe as slowly and gently as you possibly can and relax your body to make the procedure as comfortable as possible for you. And after you've had your cervical sweep, if you place a hot water bottle on your lower pelvic area and also take a few paracetamol, that can take the edge off any menstrual-like cramping that you might experience. No, you don't have to accept a cervical sweep if one is offered to you. Some pregnant ladies like to feel productive at the end of the 3rd trimester. They're ready to get their baby out, so they agree to having a cervical sweep to try and get things moving. Other women are really fed up and feeling increasingly uncomfortable in the 3rd trimester, and the last thing on their mind is being fiddled with inside their bodies and feeling more uncomfortable than they already are. So some women choose to have a cervical sweep, others won't. I, for example, declined a cervical sweep because I was already feeling so uncomfortable. I was struggling to sleep in the final weeks of pregnancy. I had backache, hip ache, and the last thing I wanted was to have menstrual-like cramping and weird spotting coming out of my vagina. So I said no to a cervical sweep, and my labour started when I was 41 weeks and 3 days, naturally without having to have any type of procedure beforehand. But if you're one of those ladies who likes to get things going, you don't like to sit still and be waiting for labour to start, you want to feel like you're doing something productive to get things going, then by all means agree to having a few cervical sweeps. It really is a personal choice, it's completely up to you. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope that you found it useful and informative. If you've got any questions about cervical sweeps, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment beneath the video description and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. If you're keen to sign up to one of my free hypnobirthing taster sessions on Zoom, please click the link in the video description below. And for more information about my hypnobirthing classes and courses, also see the link in the video description. Take care and see you again soon. Bye!